Hey guys, it's Electric Z here, and I am coming in with another video on uterine fibroids. Okay, once again, I am out of breath. I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, but if you hear me huffing and puffing, it's okay. Well, it's not okay, but I am just dealing with one of the symptoms that come from the anemia that it presented itself with the fibroids, right? And I talked about that in other videos. But today, I wanted to talk about how fibroids are sort of this secret, this family secret that no one talks about, right? It's this the family secret, the women's secret that many members of your family may have and may have had to deal with. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to lift up my seat here. May have had to deal with, but they don't discuss it. It's something that is not discussed. It's something that is, I don't know if it's exactly frowned upon, but it's looked at as if, maybe something is wrong with you because of the symptoms that it presents. And that's how I feel about it. By the way, if you are in any way interested in any of this conversations, any of the information or discussions that I provide and I have with myself, then feel free to like and subscribe. I am here to talk about women's health, oh goodness, real estate, and a bunch of fun stuff that happens on TV. Okay. So basically, my name is Z. I am not myself these days because I have no energy. I'm just like, I'm freezing all the time. And right now, it's just the middle of October 2022. And it's so crazy because I am freezing. And it's due to the anemia that it presented itself in my body because as a result of having fibroids, right? So today I just wanted to talk about how many of us, right, know that something is going on with our bodies and we kind of ignore it. We don't do anything about it. Not only do we not do anything about it, but we don't share with other family members what we're going through. So I feel that a lot of us, especially a lot of us in in Hispanic communities, right? I'm a mix of both. Black and Hispanic communities, we don't have these discussions. And because uterine fibroids are so prevalent within our communities, it's something that we need to discuss more often. I'm not saying, talk about fibroids at the kitchen, the dining room table, but I'm saying bring it up in conversations when things happen. I've had so many people because I'm a part of a lot of different forums, a lot of different discussions, a lot of different groups, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's a whole family secret. I didn't even know my mom had her uterus removed. My grandmother had her uterus removed. I didn't know that these symptoms were due to fibroids because nobody talked about it." And for me, it's just kind of like, why is it held such a secret here? It's like we don't know about it until we get here. And I really just wanted to shed some light and provide some additional, information, my experience based on, what I've been through, because so many of us just don't know or have ever heard of fibroids, and they're going through, the heavy periods, the pelvic pain, right? They're going through having lack of energy because now with all the bleeding, it's causing anemia and deficiencies within our bodies. Some of us have passed out, okay, due to anemia. Excuse the background noise. Some of us have passed out due to anemia and, or just feeling bad every day. You're not supposed to be waking up tired. It's not supposed to be how you feel on a daily basis, right? Periods are not supposed to be super painful. And you're not supposed to go on with clotting and, having extreme bleeding. They call it the flood in a lot of the groups that I am a part of. Who wants to go through all of that, right? So if we go through those things, you would think that we would have more discussions surrounding uterine fibroids. And we don't. We don't talk about it. My grandmother had fibroids. It's just coming out to me, at least now, that she had the a hysterectomy, and she suffered terribly. Like they had, she's passed on now, rest her soul, but she suffered terribly, terribly. She had to have the surgery, and she would just, walk around and just be having heavy, extremely heavy periods. And for me, I just think, wow, I didn't know that, you know. And I know she would always like eat. She had pica too, where you would crave things other than food, other than things of nutritional value. She would crave like starch, the starch that you eat, that you're supposed to put in food. She would crave, I forget the brand that she used to eat, but I know it when I see it. It's like a yellow box. But she would crave it. I have friends that eat ice all the time, friends that are cold all the time. Right now, my tips of my fingers and my feet are freezing. And we just go through this. We'll be at work with a blanket and this. Nobody else is cold. Yeah, not cold. Everybody's like, no, it's just you. And we're like, well, maybe I'm just cold all the time. It could be due to deficiencies, due to perhaps having fibroids. And don't quote me on the number, but I believe it's 80% of African American and Latino women have uterine fibroids at some point of their lives. Now, for the most part, a lot of us don't. It doesn't bother us until it gets to like a certain point. They say after having children, due to the increased hormone levels that rise, it also feeds those fibroids so they continue to grow. So I think that's what happened with me. But back to my grandmother. So she had these uterine fibroids. I had to have a hysterectomy. Was having all these weird cravings, pica. And then I have an aunt also had the myomectomy, which is the surgery that cuts out the fibroid out of the uterus. They sew the uterus back and put you all back together. And then we have, eventually she had to have the hysterectomy as well. And she also did, I believe, UFE. And then we have my sister from my father's side, who eventually had to have the same thing. And then I have another sister who is like, yeah, I have 3 fibroids now. Did I mention my mother, who has had the myomectomy because she has had fibroids? And then there, like, it goes on and on. And for me, I feel like I just don't want to be quiet about it. I feel like I just need to talk about it. I need to get some awareness, shed some light shed on this topic, because I don't know if it's because it's a women's issue and the things that come along with it, like the heavy bleeding. A lot of us may have had embarrassing situations that we don't want to discuss, or and it's not you're not like a dirty person. You don't have, you could have proper hygiene and good hygiene practices or hygienic practices, but these things are relentless. You can't even control the things that goes on within your body, because they're continuing to grow, continuing to make you bleed, continuing to make you clot, to make you feel like straight piss, right? It's nothing we can do about it until we have the surgery, or I hear now if they have a pill. I don't know, I hear it comes with a lot of possible issues after taking the pill. I saw the advertisement. It was like, oh, may cause this, may cause that, may cause depression, may cause. I was like, wow. But I wanted to talk about, shedding awareness, shedding some light on to this issue. I think I may even start to have a forum, honey, when I get people up here to share their stories, because it's like the biggest secret in the world. Talk about it. Let's discuss it, And listen, sometimes I'm in the supermarket line And I have to do the motorized wheelchair because I can't stand. That's one of my symptoms. I can't stand for a long period of time, more than I would say. Now it's about 25 minutes, but sometimes you're in a supermarket for about an hour. So I have to get that motorized wheelchair thing. That's where I am now, which is crazy because I'm a person who goes to the gym, kickbox, do all that stuff. I can't do any of that stuff right now. In fact, all of this talking is making me a little lightheaded. So I'm gonna slow it down. So because of all these symptoms, like I said, I think people are just embarrassed because they think it may have a sort of a stigma attached to it. And it's no reason. It's just like it happens. It may cause some embarrassing situations, but we need to get over the fact that, um, what it can cause and the symptoms part of it. And we need to put to shed some light on some research, what causes these bastards to come into our bodies. Let's start it from there because they still don't know. Oh, hormones, oh, they just come, it's no reason why, tumors just don't pop up in that part of our bodies, the uterus, in 80% of our body. Like it's something, it's the hormones, okay, but why? How can we stop it from starting in the first place? And I think that, it would be great if some money could be put into some research to discover why these fibroids occur. Because look what happens after. We have to have the surgery, or UFE, the procedure where they block off the blood flow, and you don't know what you're gonna get with that. Um, you may have to have a hysterectomy. You don't know what you're gonna get with any of these procedures. The hysterectomy, where you can put you into well, they say menopause, but what I mean is the hot flashes, because menopause is just the action of not bleeding anymore every month, but put you into a state where you're having hot flashes, your body is the hormone levels are off, you have to take hormone therapy, and it's like to go through all of that just because of fibroids, for me it's just like, mm-mm. So I'm just here because I wanted to have a discussion and an open discussion and shed some light on these bastards that come into our lives and disturb our freedoms. We can't do anything about it until we have a procedure done. Let's stop them in the first place. Let's talk about it, while we're watching TV. Let's talk about it to our daughters. Let's talk about it to our grandchildren. Let's talk about it to the people who are at work that's freezing, that may be experiencing these issues that we don't even, it's just like, let's talk about it, bring up the topic, find a way. Hey, you cold, my grandmother had fibroids and it led to anemia, or are you anemic, or are you, like, just start the conversation, because the conversation is not being had. We're not talking about it. We're not. Anyway, I am Z. I am Electric Z, who is not that electric these days. But I would love for you to like and subscribe. Like I said, I do plan on getting some people to come on and share their stories, because I think that it's a really important topic. And just to go from there, just to build some awareness, guys or ladies. There may be some guys on here. But anyway, I'm going to sign off on that note. Be sure to like and subscribe, because I want to, like I said, have an open forum of some women to come on and start talking about this, because it's a discussion that needs to be had. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry for the heavy breathing or long pauses. And that brings me to my conclusion. I am out. Thank you.